Daf Hashavua. Leave it the way it was. Daf Hashavua, Daf Chaf Gimel, Mabez, the Mishnah on the bottom of the Daf. Hakori Torah. When you read from the Torah, you shouldn't read each aliyah should not be less than 3 psukim. However, even though you're having 3 psukim, don't do 3 psukim and then let the meturgim, the one who's explaining the Gemara, the psukim, explain it after 3 psukim. Rather, we want him to explain after every pasuk to make sure, says Rashi, Shlo Yiteh, because he's doing it by heart. You shouldn't make mistakes. It's very important because we learn different halachos and things very important from the Torah. But Ubinavi, however, when it comes to the Navi, Shlosha, the Meturgiman could do 3, and we don't care even if he's going to make a mistake, says Rashi, because first of all we assume he's not, and if he does, it's not the worst thing. If let's say the 3 psukim in the Navi is talking about 3 separate topics, or 3 separate parshios, 3 separate topics, it's unclear in the Mefarshim, but 3 separate things, it's not just one long fluid topic of psukim. Korin echad, then you should split it up even for the Meturgim. In Dalgim and Navi, you're allowed to skip in the Navi from one place to another place. The aim of Dalgim and Torah, but you shouldn't skip by the Torah because we're scared that you might also, someone listening is going to not be able to focus in properly. How far are you allowed to skip? In the Navi, you're allowed to skip as long as the Meturgim is still explaining the Navi, like he's explaining those 3 psukim, or though whatever you stop by, and you start to roll. By the time he finishes, you're allowed to roll, but you have to be up to the next place by the time he finishes, so you don't make the tzibur wait. Says the Gemara, Ani Gimel Psukim Kenegedi. What's these 3 psukim in every aliyah Keneged? What does it correspond to? Amar Rav Yosef, Ravasi, Keneged Torah Nevi'im Uksud. Now the Gemara is just quoting the Mishnah. A Meturgim shouldn't do more than 1 pasuk. And by Navi Gimel Psukim, ve'ima yushlashtan shalosh parshios. And if they're the 3 psukim if the 3 separate psukim, 3 different parshios, then Kore echad. You read 1 pasuk at a time. Says the Gemara, where do you find this? You go in, for instance, in Yeshaya, it says, Kiko Amar Hashem, so said Hashem, Chinam Kartam, I sold you for no reason. You were sold for no reason, right? And then the next pasuk says, Kiko Amar Hashem, Elokim, Mitzrayim Yorad Ami, that my people went down to Mitzrayim. So that's not for no reason. That's a separate topic, because Mitzrayim, we did go down for a reason. So the first pasuk is talking about for no reason, the second pasuk is talking about for a reason. And then the third pasuk goes back. What do I have? It was not. What do I have? Says Hashem. That's not going back on the pasuk of 4 about Mitzrayim. So you see, you have 3 separate things. So in that kind of case, you would make sure to have the Meturgim split it up, because they're not that you shouldn't do all 3 at once. Correct the Gemara. You're allowed to skip by Navi, not by the Torah. I'll ask you a contradiction. Korei, we read on Yom Kippurim, Achrei Mos. We read Achrei Mos, which speaks about the Avodah, and we also read V'ach Ba'asar. We read about the psukim, about the tainus, about the malacha that you're not allowed to do. Welcome Adalig, you're skipping. Those aren't directly together. That by the Torah you're allowed to be yifsok, even kadesh yifsok, as long as you don't make the Meturgim away. Now that answer is clearly not what we just said, because we just got finished explaining that only by the Navi you could skip. But even when you skip by the Navi, you have to skip with enough time that the Meturgim doesn't have to wait. Correct the Gemara. Well, Lakatani, on that specifically, we learned Medalgim and Navi and Medalgim Torah. You're allowed to skip by the Navi and not by the Torah. Ba'akama u'medalig. How much are you allowed to skip? Says our very own Mishnah. Only by Navi you could skip, and only Kadesh Yisrael Meturgim. So how could you tell me that by the Torah you're allowed to do the same? The Torah, we can infer from this that by the Torah, klal klalo, you can't skip at all. Elam Rabbi lo kasha, different answer. Kam b'ninech kam b'shtein yanos. That when are you allowed to skip by the Torah? When it's one inyan, when it's one topic, like by Yom Kippur. There's one other time when we skip by Lane, who knows? By Yichal. We skip by a tiny Tzibur, we start reading by Yichal, which is Parak base, and we read one Aliyah, and then we skip to Parak Dalet. And we read by Yifsa, what's the next? Skip to Parak by Yifsa. Yeah, by Yifsa. B'shtein Yanos. So Lokash Kam Yanos, Kam B'shtein Yanos. And by Haftorah, you can even skip to something that's not the same meaning. Correctly, Gatanya. And we also learned this in a brayso proof. You're allowed to skip by the Torah in one thing of a Navi B'shtein Yanim, and by the Navi B'tu and Yanim, Kan B'kan, but on both cases, it has to be that the Torah doesn't have to wait. Tanya Idach, and we learned in another brayso, and that will end up to the Mishnah. Ein Medalgin min Navi l'Navi. You can't skip from Navi l'Navi, from a whole sefer of Navi. You can't skip. You could skip in the sefer, but not from one sefer to another sefer. You can't. But if you're in the Trei Asar, there it's considered one medalig you're allowed to skip. So as long as you don't skip to go l'mafreya, says Rashi, from the end to the beginning, from l'mafreya you can't go backwards. That you can't do. And with that we will end. We'll continue tomorrow. Thanks guys for coming.